Headlines for this hour. VTV News. Party General Secretary chairs Central Military Commission's conference. Prime Minister called for building green, sustainable, inclusive MEKONG-LANCANG region. In our war news, Egypt proposes 14-day ceasefire agreement in Gaza.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi. You're watching VTV News. Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng, Secretary of the Central Military Commissions, chaired the Commission's 8 sessions on Monday. State President Võ Văn Thưởng and Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính also attended the event.
Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng stressed that the entire army achieved better results in 2023 compared to 2022, fulfilling 12 groups of tasks and solutions. The Party General Secretary praised the army for always maintaining its core role in building national defense, successfully fulfilling its combat and production functions, and preventing and overcoming consequences of natural disasters, epidemics, and search and rescues. Its defense diplomatic activities and the parties, states, and people's diplomacy continue to enhance the country's and the army's position, emphasizing that 2024 will mark many major events, such as the 20th anniversary of Điện Biên Phủ victory and the 80th anniversary of the founding of Vietnam People's Army. Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng highlighted several important tasks.
The Commission needs to continue to effectively perform its strategic advisory role and implement the resolution of the 13th Party Central Committee's 8th session on the National Defense Strategy, in alignment with other military and defense strategies and resolutions on socio-economic development strategies, ensuring security defense in the country's 6 economic regions. The Commission has to enhance its strategic forecast capacity and continue to propose to the Party and the State the promulgation of policies and legal documents on military and defense matters meeting the requirements of current events.
The Party General Secretary suggested the Commission launch cohesive and effective measures to enhance the overall quality and combat strength of the military, play a core role in developing national defense capability, and overhaul the organization of military forces to become an elite, streamlined, and powerful military force in 2025. He also asked to build strong party units and improve political strength in the army. The Party General Secretary emphasized the need to continue expanding and improving the effectiveness of international integration and defense diplomacy, contributing to establishing a strategic balance in relations with partners. In 2024, the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense should continue innovation in leadership, management, command and administration, and build a team of staff and party members who dare to think, speak, and act to overcome challenges.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and the Prime Ministers and heads of delegation from Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, and China attended the 5th Mekong-LANCANG Cooperation Summit on Monday. The Prime Minister suggested priorities at the conference to promote regional cooperation.
At the conference, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh emphasized that Mekong-Lancang cooperation has become an important mechanism connecting Mekong countries and China. In Vietnam, projects sponsored by the Mekong-Lancang Cooperation Special Fund have been implemented effectively, bringing practical benefits to people. The Prime Minister proposed developing the region rapidly and sustainably, with the motto of mobilizing and effectively using resources, promoting industrialization and modernization, and building independent and self-reliant economies associated with proactive and substantive international integration.
It is necessary to make innovation, science, and technology the focus of cooperation and promote digital transformation through cooperation on digital infrastructure, human resources, digital security, digital economy, and digital citizenship. Countries should encourage the participation of development partners and the business community in fostering regional development. Cooperation in transportation and research on payment mechanisms is also crucial.
The Prime Minister proposed building a green, sustainable, inclusive and comprehensive Mekong-Lancang region, strengthening cooperation on ecological environment conservation, natural disaster prevention, and effective and sustainable management and use of the river. He asked the 6 countries to prioritize investment in human development and build inclusive education and health systems. He called on the countries to build a Mekong-Lancang region of peace, cooperation, and development. At the same time, prioritizing cultural cooperation and people-to-people exchanges is necessary. The Prime Minister affirmed that the Vietnamese government always attaches importance to and will continue to work with China and Mekong countries to promote Mekong-Lancang cooperation in an effective, sustainable, inclusive, and comprehensive manner.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on Monday issued an official dispatch on urgently dealing with the cold spells that is affecting cattle and people. The dispatch requests the People's Committees, provinces and cities, especially in the north and north-central regions, adopt plans and preventive measures against the cold snap. In particular, relevant authorities should communicate and guide people to implement effective anti-cold measures and ensure health and safety for seniors, children, and vulnerable people. At the same time, they should deploy measures to protect crops, livestock, and aquatic products. The Prime Minister also assigned many specific tasks to relevant ministries to draw up plans to shut down schools in severe or harmful cold conditions and plan the winter-spring crop productions according to the weather conditions. Preventing false claims and injustice in legal proceedings was one of the key tasks required by National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ as he delivered a speech at the conference held by the Supreme People Procuracies of Vietnam on Monday afternoon. More to follow.
In 2023, prosecuting authorities in Vietnam coordinated with related agencies to detect, investigate, and prosecute more than 98,000 criminal cases, an increase of 13.4% compared to last year. Particularly, the procuracy sector detected nearly 950 criminal cases relating to bribery and corruption, an increase of 74.1%. The performance of the criminal justice system has improved in terms of investigation and prosecution. The number of defendants prosecuted in courts without miscarriages of justice reached 99.98%. The National Assembly chairman praised the achievements of the Supreme People's Procuracy. However, many challenges remain, including high crime levels and serious violations. He emphasized the need to respond to new forms of criminality and improve the professional qualifications of prosecutors and staff personnel in this sector.
Prosecuting authorities should implement the National Assembly's resolutions on supervision, focusing on improving prosecutorial trial practice and supervising the judicial activities of courts. Prosecutors must serve the public interest and act with integrity and balanced judgment.
The National Assembly chair also ordered improving courts' governance capacity on digital platforms and providing more convenient judicial services for citizens, as this will pave the way for the procuracy sector to improve the protection of justice, human rights, and citizens' rights.
Politburo member Trương Thị Mai, chair of the Vietnam-Japan Friendship Parliamentarian Group, talked with the chair of the Presidium of Japanese Communist Party Central Committee, Phie in Hanoi on Monday. She affirmed that the Communist Party and the peoples of Vietnam have always valued the traditional friendship, trust, and mutual understanding with the Communist Party of Japan. The two sides agreed to strengthen cooperation between the two parties through high-level exchange of information and practical experiences, and contribute to promoting cooperation between the two countries, creating favorable conditions for Vietnamese people to work and study in Japan, and exchanges between the two countries. Both sides plan to coordinate on international issues, including political party forums. The 8th National Congress of the Vietnam Farmers Union for the 2023-2028 term, held from December 25th to 27th, was officially kicked off at the National Convention Center in Hanoi on Monday morning. The Congress is expected to set out 3 groundbreaking tasks, including innovating methods of gathering and uniting farmers, developing the collective economy, and improving farmers' qualifications. Nearly 1,000 delegates gathered to discuss and give opinions on draft of important legislations. More to follow.
At the first working session, delegates approved a report by the Central Executive Committee of the Vietnam Farmers Union, Term 7. While evaluating the results, delegates also discussed major tasks, such as strengthening farmers' solidarity, developing the country's collective economy, and improving farmers' qualifications.
We've had high expectations for specific targets and solutions in the 2023 to 2028 term. We are especially satisfied as the government's Resolution 46 sets specific tasks for building Vietnamese farmers' associations. This will pave the way for farmers to contribute to the collective economy's development.
We hope the government will create favorable policies for farmers' unions to build professional branches, as these branches can boost farmers' engagement in the collective economy. To achieve this goal, we need to meet farmers' expectations.
The government and the Vietnam Farmers Union have provided huge support for farmers over the past 5 years, such as developing the linkage between farmers and traders. Boosting sales of agricultural products on e-commerce platforms is one of the major tasks that should be prioritized in the time ahead.
We have next on VTV News. Credit management efficiencies improved. And Con Hat village thrived in the Mekong Delta. To effectively implement the Prime Minister's decisions to strengthen the prevention of black credit activities, the State Bank of Vietnam has instructed credit institutions and foreign bank branches to facilitate access to loans for daily consumptions. Specifically, banks should actively manage their capital sources and promote credit programs tailored to different target groups and customer segments, ensuring that legitimate and legal loan needs are met. Additionally, banks should accelerate their digital transformations efforts and embrace the use of technologies to expedite the processing time for customer loan applications. This includes streamlining internal processes and procedures to provide maximum convenience for borrowers. As of December 20th, Vietnam's credit growth has reached 10.85%, lower than the same period last year, yet significantly higher than the previous month. In the December official's communications, the Prime Minister requested the State Bank of Vietnam focus on proactive, flexible, and prompt monetary policies, ensuring an adequate supply of credit for the economy.
This company's need for capital has increased. The nearly $619 million credit package for forestry and fisheries with preferential interest rates has helped the company reduce costs.
We usually borrowed money from commercial banks with 9 to 10% interest rates. Thanks to the support and the credit package of the government and the State Bank, we've switched to a 5.5% rate.
Many banks have chosen key sectors to grant loans. This bank has lent over $124 million at an interest rate of 5.5% per annum to support businesses and individuals in expanding their businesses or building and repairing houses.
Credit for businesses and individuals to expand their business and build and repair houses has remarkably increased by 20% on average.
Interest rates on new loans have decreased by more than 2%. However, interest rates on old loans may be adjusted 3 to 6 months after deposit interest rates are reduced. Therefore, experts say lending interest rates will still be lowered in 2024, supporting economic recovery and development.
As the U.S. Federal Reserve may reduce its interest rates next year, Vietnamese commercial banks will have room to reduce their lending rates and provide capital for economic recovery thanks to flexible monetary policy.
Additionally, experts say that commercial banks need to simplify lending procedures, remove obstacles in collateral, and expand their capability to grant unsecured loans. As such, enterprises and people can access capital and expand production and business.
Currently, there's a significant increase in trade activity through the border gates in Lang Son province. On a daily basis, around 1,100 to 1,300 vehicles are being cleared by customs, representing a 20% increase compared to previous times. The main items being imported and exported including fruit, agricultural products, iron and steel products, computers and electronic products and components. With nearly 15,000 vehicles entering and leaving the border gates each day, there's also a daily waiting list of about 200 to 300 vehicles for export. To accommodate the growing demand, Lang Son province is ensuring that the export area is cleared for efficient custom clearance. It is expected that the volume of goods passing through the border gates will sharply increase next week to meet the year-end export demands of businesses. Dong Nai, a crucial player in the Ho Chi Minh City Ring Road 3 project, is intensifying its effort with an 11-kilometer sketch of the road passing through its area. Earlier, the pace of constructions and site clearance in Dong Nai lagged behind that of other regions. To address this, the province has mobilized over 200 employees to work on the Nhuon Chek Bridge and the key component linking the Nhuon Chek district in Dong Nai to Thủ Đức City in Ho Chi Minh City and the largest bridge on Ring Road 3. Additionally, Nhuon Chek district is poised to submit a site clearance proposals for a 39-hectare segment of component for this month. This with the rest expected to gain approval by early 2024. Dong Nai authorities recognize that accelerating the construction of resettlements area is crucial for hastening the compensations and site clearance processes, highlighting the need for prompt construction of these areas. Meeting with Buddhist leaders from Laos and Cambodia attending the second Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia Buddhist Leaders Conference, Ho Chi Minh City Party Committee Secretary Nguyễn Văn Nên sent best wishes to the Buddhist leaders and all delegates. He emphasized that the conference affirmed the spirit of Buddhism's commitment to society in the context of international integrations and the desire to spread Buddhism's cultures and ethical values for the sustainable development of humanity. He also said that the party and state of Vietnam approved Ho Chi Minh City to host the United Nations Day of Vesak in 2025. Despite the changes in life, the conical hat or non la in Vietnamese continues to be practical and popular in the Mekong Delta regions. It provides protection from the sun and rain and can be worn by both men and women. When paired with traditional outfits, it adds a fashionable touch. This inclusivity has played a crucial role in helping traditional hat making villages endure the test of time.
I got married and have been working here for 40 years now. It's all thanks to the cone-shaped hats. Making and selling hats helps me earn money to buy food.
It used to be really joyful here. Every family, from young to old, made conical hats. Now, people have left, and it feels quite desolate.
Nowadays, very few people make conical hats. The younger generation has chosen different careers, and hardly anyone continues this craft.
In the midst of downturns, the centuries-old village known for crafting conical hats is now predominantly populated by elderly individuals. These residents refuse to abandon the craft that has been an integral part of their lives since times of scarcity.
I don't keep track of my monthly earnings, but my income is stable.
At my age, should I let my grandchildren take care of me? But I can still work, so I prefer to continue doing so. It eases the burden on them a little bit.
The conical hat not only provides a satisfactory income for those in the profession but also serves practical purposes. As a result, it's become a familiar accessory that is closely tied to the daily lives of people in the Delta for both leisure and to wear in various weather conditions. The conical hat is handy. We can use it for sun or rain protection.
I can use the conical hat to fan myself. It seems reasonable, doesn't it?
Vietnam is on track to achieve its annual goal of 12.5 million international visitors in 2023, recovering 70% of its 2019 figures. South Korean tourists lead the influx with over 3.5 million arrivals. Popular destinations like Da Nang, Nha Trang, and Phu Quoc in Kiên Giang province are top picks for these travelers. Remarkably, Phu Quoc has recently seen an average daily influx of over 2,000 international visitors, more than half of whom are from South Korea. This surge in international tourism significantly aids Vietnam tourism sector's revivals. Looking ahead to 2024, Vietnam set ambitious targets of welcoming 17 to 18 million internationals and 110 million domestic tourists, aiming to generate revenues of $34.6 billion. Coming up next in our war news, Egypt proposes 14-day ceasefire agreement in Gaza. And Red Sea attacks disrupt world trade. Egypt has put forth a new proposals for a hostage exchange agreement in the Gaza Strip. The proposal suggests the Israel's defense forces would halt all military and intelligence operations in Gaza for 2 weeks in exchange for the release of 40 hostages. Palestinian officials said Egypt's proposed deal is a 3-phase plan to halt the conflict in Gaza. The plan includes the release of 120 Palestinian prisoners from Israeli jails. The second phase of Egypt's proposals involves negotiation with the Palestinian authorities to establish an emergency security government in Gaza involving multiple Palestinian factions. The third phase includes a prolonged ceasefire, the repatriations of additional hostages from the Gaza Strip, and the eventual withdrawal of Israeli forces from the blockaded Palestinian coastal enclave. However, Hamas affirmed that it would not take part in talks unless Israel ends its military activity in this territory. According to Director Generals of the World Health Organization (WHO), Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the health systems in Gaza was being destroyed. He hailed Gaza's medical workers who continue their work under increasingly dire circumstances. The WHO chief said the collapse of the health systems in Gaza is a tragic outcome of the ongoing conflict. Despite facing constant death threats and an increasing influx of wounded patients, healthcare professionals in Gaza remain dedicated. He also renewed his call for a ceasefire. Currently, only 9 of the 36 health facilities were partially functional in the whole of Gaza. All these facilities are concentrated in the enclave south. Meanwhile, northern Gaza has been left without a functional hospitals due to a lack of fuel, staff, and supplies. The series of ship attacks by Houthi rebels in the Red Sea could curtail global shipping capacity by 20%, according to experts, in a fresh blow to supply chains that could reignite inflationary pressures. At least 121 container ships are already taking longer routes to avoid the Suez Canal and the Red Sea, where the Houthis have been stepping up attacks with drones and missiles since the start of Israel-Hamas conflict. About 1.6 million containers have been affected by the attacks. The Christmas festivities can be great fun, but it can also be a time of increased stress and anxieties, which can take away the joys of the holiday. Psychologists say high expectations from friends and relatives, as well as commercials and relationship pressures, can take their tolls on people's health. More to follow.
In central London, the Christmas illuminations are up and people are bustling around with their shopping lists. The holiday season can become a race to the finish, as we try to get the perfect presents, the most dazzling decorations, and provide the most sumptuous feasts. But psychologists warn this pressure to perform can harm people's health.
Consumers often get stressed by a variety of factors, whether it would be the expectation to spend, to pick the perfect gift. A lot of people don't like the crowds in the stores, the pressures of getting together with family and what all of that entails. And so just in general, the holidays tend to be a heightened level of stress for all individuals.
The cost of living crisis can also add to people's problems, as they may feel obliged to spend more money than they can afford.
I can see why it could be, because there's a lot of pressure, I suppose, to go out and buy everything. It's quite a lot of money and time, but I think people shouldn't put so much pressure on themselves, because actually it's about getting together with family, isn't it? And you don't have to put that stress on yourself if you can't do it or you don't do it.
I find it difficult to spend the money when there's so many people don't have. So as a family, we decided to give to the homeless.
According to experts, it's best to plan ahead to alleviate some of the financial stress of the holiday. Avoid comparisons with other households. In addition, volunteering or helping others can be really good for people.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's it for this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download a mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.